Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning into TradeChat. My name is Panzer, and I guess I want to start out by saying I'm sorry for the lack of content on my channel the last week or so, and that this isn't really a real video either. This is just going to kind of be a vlog catching you up on what's going on, because there's a lot going on, and I don't feel like I have filled you guys in as much as I should have. So if you don't know, we are currently right in the beginning of St. Jude Play Live month for 2017, and we are starting so strong. You guys have already raised over $17,000, and the Derp Squad has raised, I think, like $25,000. It's absolutely insane. We're only at the very beginning of the event, and we're doing so well so far. And if you are unfamiliar, St. Jude Play Live is a month-long streaming event that is to benefit St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, where streamers on Twitch get together and they stream games and raise money for the kids and families at St. Jude. If you have been following me a long time, you know that this is a cause that's very, very near and dear to my heart. I started fundraising for St. Jude back in 2014, and I don't want to get like overly emotional or overly sappy, but the first year of the event, my dad actually died right at the beginning of the event. I can't remember if it was the first or second day, or it might have been the day before. It was kind of a blur, but my dad died right at the beginning of the 2014 event, and I still streamed the whole time because I felt like, what else was I going to do? Just kind of sit around and wallow. I don't know, it just felt like the right thing to do. And since then, I've felt really strongly about the need for funding and development in the field of pediatric cancer research. St. Jude is an amazing hospital. They've been open a super long time, and when they first opened back in the 60s, the survival rate for pediatric cancer was only 1 in 5, which is like so terrible, and now it is over 4 in 5. It's close to 90%, and that's largely in part due to the research and the developments at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And I think the best part about the whole thing is that these kids are receiving, you know, the best of the best care that they could possibly be getting. All of their needs are taken care of. They have amazing housing facilities for their long-term patients, as well as great places to stay for their shorter-term patients. They provide absolutely everything they could need, not just their medical bills and their medications and stuff like that, but also, you know, teachers and tutors and you know, music teachers and dance teachers and, you know, stuff to do for fun. They do kindergarten graduation for the little kids. They do prom for the older kids. They have, you know, entertainment come in, and they do all sorts of fun events, and they try to maintain the most, I don't know, real childhood experience that they can for kids who are in a very I was going to say unreal, but I guess the sombering truth is that it is real, and they try to give these kids the most normal childhood they can when they aren't in the most normal of situations, and they don't charge the kids or the families a penny for anything that they need while at St. Jude. Their medical expenses are covered, all of their housing and travel expenses are covered, the travel expenses for family members are also covered, all of their cost of living. I mean, they go as far as to make sure that the families have spending money and they can go and shop at regular grocery stores, and everything is 100% taken care of for them. I've even heard stories about the first year that I went to St. Jude, my tour guide told me a story about a little girl who had cancer, and her mom was a single mom, and it was just the little girl and her mom, and they had a dog. And when the girl was diagnosed with cancer, the mother and daughter obviously had to travel to Memphis to stay for a while she was treated, and St. Jude paid for her dog to be boarded so that they didn't have to like give their dog away while she was in cancer treatments, which is just so, as an animal lover, as someone who like treats my pets like family, like that's such an amazing thing that they do, and I'm so inspired by everything that St. Jude does for kids all over the world. Even though it is located in Memphis, it's not just kids from America, it's literally kids from any country on the planet can be treated at St. Jude, and they are given the best of the best care, and it is extremely expensive. St. Jude costs over $2 million a day to keep up and running, and the majority of their funding is from regular donations from people like you and me. And while you do see these huge donations, you know, a couple $1,000s here and there, whatever, the actual average donation to St. Jude is only $33. So the bulk of the donations that they're getting that make up that $2 million a day or whatever is only $33. And even if you can only swing $1, it still adds up and it makes the difference. And I don't know, it's just really important to me. Back back in 2016, St. Jude installed a new pathway to their proton beam therapy center, which is, I think it's similar to like 4D radiation, if you've ever heard of it, where it kind of like targets onto the tumor and it, you know, it's a much smaller, I think the way I understand it is that regular radiation, like if this was the tumor, when radiation comes in, it can hit the tumor, but it also kind of affects the area around because it dissipates and it can hurt the tissue behind. And especially when you're talking about something like brain cancer, this can be horribly, horribly just not good. You know, it's just like you hear about all of the terrible things that happen in trying to treat cancer. And with the new proton beam therapy center that they have, when that beam hits the tumor, it doesn't dissipate. It's like much more accurate, and it also doesn't affect the tissue behind. So it's causing much less side effects. It's a lot healthier for the kids. And when they opened the new proton beam therapy center, they built this walkway going from the facility to where the proton beam therapy treatment is, and St. Jude actually put a memorial brick for my father in that path. And yeah, it's just, the whole thing means so much to me. We've currently raised like so much money, like $160,000, I think. And this year, if we hit our goal, we will have crossed $250,000 raised for such an amazing organization. And it's funny because I've said in a lot of videos in the past that I don't really want kids and that I'm not like really into little kids. It's just not my thing. But, you know, when my dad died, my dad also had cancer. He had medullary thyroid cancer, and it was very, very aggressive. And at the time that he passed, cancer had pretty much kind of overtaken his whole body. And my dad was 52, and I kept thinking after he died that, like, the immensity of grief that I felt was so... you know, I'm sorry, my air conditioner just popped on, but the grief that I felt was so overwhelming and so heavy, and it weighed me down so much. And my dad was an adult who had got to have kids and a career. And, you know, my stepbrothers had kids, so we kind of got to do the grandparent thing. Like, my dad... I'm sorry, I just got distracted because I saw this, like, passed out llama stuffed animal in the background of my video. I don't know how that got there. I have no idea. But, you know, my dad... I'm sorry. ADHD, it's bad. My dad got to live his whole life, and it was still so difficult to see him go through 5 years of treatment and relapse and remission and, like, just so much emotional roller coaster, rubber bandy kind of stuff. I can't fathom how exponentially worse that is for parents with their little kids. I've been to St. Jude 3 times, and I've seen infants, 6-month-old babies, all the way up to, like, they treat kids, I think, up to, like, 21, 25, something like that. And if there's anything I can do to lessen someone else's suffering or to help someone else who's going through something similar to what I went through with my dad, I want to do it, which is why St. Jude is so important to me. And I don't just ask you guys to donate. I donate a lot of money myself. I think last year I donated like $3,200. This year I've already raised about $800 just through my Loot Crate commissions. I'll be donating that, and I'm sure I'll be donating significantly more on top of that. I try to support all of the members of my team by making at least a small donation so that they know that, you know, their efforts were not unnoticed. And I don't know, it's just so important to me. And I think that being on the internet and somebody who makes like silly videos about World of Warcraft and all of these other things, I think that, you know, if I have an audience and I have a voice, and if there's anything that I can do to make a difference, that it's my responsibility to do that. And I'm so lucky to have the audience that I have that's so kind and so generous and just so supportive and amazing, that you guys show up to these streams and you donate. Some people come in and they're like, you know, I don't have much to give, but here's $2. I am so floored by people who don't have much to give or really anything to give, but they choose to, you know, give their last $2 or maybe give up their coffee or give up this or that so that they can help a little bit. I think that that's so meaningful. It's not about like the dollar amount, but I don't know. I'm always so blown away, and this is such an emotional time of the year for me because my dad and then the St. Jude going on and just all this stuff. So I don't know. I always appreciate that this is a time of year that I get to spend with a lot of people who are like-minded and who are caring and sensitive and just amazing. And Anyways, TLDR, I really, really care a lot about St. Jude as a charity, and I'm so proud of the work that we've done so far, and I can't wait to see what we accomplish in the future. And I will be streaming almost every day throughout the month of May. If you would like to tune into my streams, please go to twitch.tv/TradeChat and click the follow button so it'll notify you when I'm online. I also have been posting when I'm online on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and my Discord. So if any of those social medias work for you, make sure that you follow me so that you can keep an eye on when I will be streaming so that you don't miss it. I'm actually going to be streaming tomorrow, and I'm really excited about it. My sister and I are going to be streaming getting the Pepe achievement, like the whistle, the trans-dimensional bird whistle, I think it's called, which is why I put all of my Pepes behind me so that you can see them. But yeah, so we're going to be doing that tomorrow, and I have a very awesome prize to give away. With that, really, really great artist, his name is Eric Wright, donated 10 custom created portraits of Pepe with the costume of your choice if you win, to give away during that stream, which I think is a super cool prize. So thank you so much for that. And just it's going to be amazing. So if you would like to tune in, that will be tomorrow, which is May 3rd, around noon Eastern Standard Time is when we'll be going live, and we'll probably stay live until about 8 or 9 o'clock at night. If we did not finish Pepe, we will go live again on Thursday about the same time. But either way, I will be streaming a ton. If you can't make a stream and you would like to make a donation anyways, I will have a link in the info below where you can see my Tiltify page, which is how we're collecting all the funds this year. Also, kind of on that note, none of this money is money that goes through my hands. Anytime that you are donating to St. Jude through a link that I have, it is a vanity link and you're donating directly to St. Jude, and the only reason I have a link is so that they can track how much of it came from my viewers, but it's not money that ever crosses my hand. When you make the donation, you'll see it's payable to ALSAC/St. Jude. ALSAC is St. Jude's fundraising department, essentially. So no worries there. The Loot Crate money did obviously go through my hands, and I haven't gotten it yet, which is why I haven't made the donation yet, but that's why I did most of April. Well, I did all of April and part of February. God, no, March. Months are hard, but I did 40 days total, which was March 20th to April 30th. And once I get my commission payment from Loot Crate, I will be making that donation. It was right around $800. And just in general, I'm super excited. We're doing a lot of really cool prizes and incentives. I did want to talk a little bit about that. So you can see all of the prizes and you can see all of the milestones and incentives on my Tiltify page, but essentially through different various amounts of donations, you can unlock access to a photo gallery that will not be posted publicly. It is my Demon Hunter cosplay, and that gallery will contain behind the scenes pictures and pictures, again, that won't be posted on my Facebook or my Twitter. There's also a tier where you can get a signed photo, which changes every week to incentivize people to donate more than once if they can. There will be 5 photos in total. You can also get physical signed photos as well as like personalized signed photos. I'm also doing some art giveaways and stuff like that. As far as actual prizes that you'll be entered to win, every $5 that you donate will enter you to win that day's daily prizes, as well as that week's weekly prizes and the grand prizes. So the daily prizes, I usually have between 5 and 10 prizes per day. Then there are 3 big prizes per week, and then there are like 6 or 7 massive prizes. The big prizes that will be given away at the end of the event include a $200 Jinx.com gift card, as well as a 6-month subscription to Loot Crate. There is also a Comic Pack Mega Pack, which is a 3-month subscription to Comic Pack, but also including their 2 most popular comic packs of all time. Huge box of goodies from Discord, a big swag bag from Origin PC, and my personal favorite, the thing I'm most excited to give away this year, is the DXRacer chair well, it's not this exact chair, but I'm giving away a DXRacer F-Series gaming chair, and thank you so much, DXRacer, for providing that for me. I built this chair. Okay, no, that's a lie. I didn't build this chair. My husband built this chair on stream while I supervised. My old chair is behind me. I'm going to be using that one specifically for crafts because a lot of people pointed out how much paint I got on it over the years, so I will not be painting when I'm I'm using this chair because I don't want to do it again, but ruin another chair. But yeah, so I'm giving away a DXRacer chair. I'm super excited about that. Thank you so much to DXRacer for doing that for me, for providing that for me, because it's something I get asked a lot about. My chair is like one of my most FAQs of all FAQs, and I do love it. I would not have gotten another one if I didn't love it. My husband has a DXRacer chair. They're amazing, amazing chairs, and I'm not sitting here trying to sell you a DXRacer chair. They sent me this chair because I've had my other chair for like 4 years and I got paint all over it, and they were nice enough to replace it, but it didn't need to be replaced. It was still incredibly comfortable, and before I kind of transitioned to DXRacer, I just had like a crappy Staples office chair, and I always had a really sore back and all those complaints. And I don't know, if you are thinking about getting a DXRacer chair, I highly recommend them, and I think they are worth the investment if you are someone who spends a lot of time at your computer, because sitting is the new smoking, or so they say, and I feel like getting a good quality chair definitely helps with that. So thank you again to DXRacer and to all the sponsors of our little event this year for St. Jude Play Live. I'm so excited to be able to give all this stuff away. Thank you to all the artists who donated their time and their effort into custom art commissions as prizes, and just there's so many amazing people and companies that helped me out with this that I can't really even tip the iceberg in this video. But be sure to tune into my streams to see what prizes I'm giving away that day, what guest streamer I'll have with me that day, what the weekly prizes are, so on and so forth. But if you donate at any time, every $5 will enter you to win all of our grand prizes, including this chair, plus whatever the weekly prize is that week, and whatever the daily prize is that week. So, well, that day. That's the way daily works. But yeah, I have a couple videos coming up for you guys that are going to be a little more beefy, that aren't just, you know, me talking about my streams. I'm kind of feeling lucky because Blizzard hasn't had a whole lot of breaking important, oh my god, make a video news things, so I don't feel too terrible about the fact that I didn't have a Blizzard news video this week, and I will have one next week, don't worry. I've also got 39 things. Nope, that was a lie. I just told a lie. I'm doing Draw My Life. I was going to say I'm doing 39 things about myself, but that's actually the reward for this year's $50,000, so I guess I don't know if I'm actually doing that yet. It'll depend if we have $50,000, but I will be doing a Draw My Life this month for hitting $50,000 last year. I will also be doing a tattoo update video so that I can show you guys in detail the tattoo that I got last year as my $25,000 milestone reward for St. Jude. This is my favorite and my most important and my most meaningful tattoo that I got, and it's kind of what all of my future tattoos will be kind of revolving around, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, so I've got a couple videos that have been highly requested. They will be up this month as kind of a, hey, a reminder, St. Jude is going on now, but also here's a video that everybody's been asking for. And then I will have a Blizzard news video. I also have a couple other videos written that I'm really excited to get out. It's just, it's hard for me. I like wanna, you know, I wanna do the St. Jude streams, but then I also wanna work, and then I don't want to get into too much personal stuff, but if you guys watch any of my vlogs, like, you know that I was, oh my gosh, my hair's sticking straight up. What is going on there? If you guys watch any of my vlogs, you know that I have pretty severe ADHD, and I've always struggled with just general, you know, being content and pleasant at a baseline level, and I've always been one who strives really hard to have a positive attitude and whatever, because like I don't want to be one of those people who kind of brings sadness upon myself. And I recently changed medications for ADHD. I was on Adderall, and it made me lose a lot of weight, which people have been pointing out in videos. I know, I'm working on it. So my doctor suggested that maybe we try out another form of treatment that also treats like mild depression, and I never really thought I was someone who had depression. I thought I was someone who was just, you know, carrying around the baggage of a life that has had some sad stuff happen. But when I was on that medication, I was kind of feeling better than I ever felt in my whole life. I kind of felt like that's maybe what everybody else feels like, and I just didn't know. And I literally was raving about how wonderful it was and how great I was doing on it. And then almost on the dot of week 3, I blew up in hives and had like a really severe allergic reaction. Like one of my eyes was like swollen, almost shut. It was not good. It was not good. And then, so obviously I had to stop taking it because I was clearly allergic to it. And I haven't I've been in kind of fights with my insurance company about where we're going to go from here, because my doctor suspects that I'm allergic to one of the fillers in the generic version of the medication, not the actual medication itself. But my insurance won't pay for the brand name medication, and I can't afford the brand name medication. So they kind of just stopped me on the medication entirely cold turkey, which it wasn't. It was an SNRI type antidepressant medication, which when you're on it usually doesn't have a severe side effects. It has lesser impactful things. Like a lot of people say when they're on antidepressants, they might feel foggy or not like themselves. Like I felt like the self I wanted to be, and it was so much less effort. It was amazing. Like I couldn't, I never thought I had any sort of depression until I had been on that medication. And then I was like, oh, wow. If this is like what normal people feel like, I was definitely a little bit depressed. So, anyways, while SSRIs are the ones that people say, like, you know, they might be harmful. And that's not to say that people shouldn't take them. But, you know, when you're first starting out, you want to go with the mildest thing kind of first. And so while they have more serious side effects when you're on them, they're actually easier to go off of than an SNRI. God, I think that's what they're called. I am not a doctor, but anyways, so when you go off of those cold turkey, you have terrible withdrawals. So after the hives went away, I had like a week of just being like very, very sad. And then like since then, I've just had really bad problems with like motivation and apathy and just like feeling blah. And it's like, it's getting better every day, but I don't feel like even where I was before, and I certainly don't feel anywhere near as good as I did when I was on the medication. So I actually have a doctor's appointment today. When I'm done filming this, I'm going to go talk to her. And I know this is kind of a little bit TMI, but I like to be open and talk about mental health because I think that it's something that's still very stigmatized. People don't want to talk about medication, and they don't want to talk about therapy, and they want to really make it taboo. Like people want to share things on Facebook that say, oh, don't be taboo, but then they still don't want to talk about it. And like, it makes me uncomfortable to talk about it, but like, I think I should anyways. So let it just be known that I don't know. I heard a quote that I really like that I keep repeating because I think it makes the most sense for me. And that is, you know, when you're cooking, they say that if you can't make homemade, store-bought works just fine. I mean, they talk about that with pies, you know what I mean? Like if you can't make homemade pie filling, just use store-bought filling, it's fine. Or if you can't make homemade whipped cream, just use store-bought whipped cream, it's fine. And if you can't make the chemicals in your brain that make you a balanced individual, then store-bought is just fine. And that's kind of how I feel about it. So I'm relieved that I'm going to go talk to my doctor about what we can do from here and like what the best course of action is. And this all happened at kind of a shitty time because, you know, I was getting prepared for St. Jude and then I was covered in hives, like so bad. I'm telling you, I looked like, was it Will Smith in that? And was it Men in Black where anyways, but yeah, it wasn't pretty. So that kind of took a week out of being able to work because you could physically see it. It was not good. And then, as soon as they went away was when all of the medication was out of my system and I kind of hit like a brick wall with, motivation and just kind of like irritability and general grouchiness. And if anybody has watched any of my streams, I've done my 100% best to keep that under wraps. But, you know, when I get to 8 or 9 hours, sometimes I'm like, all right, I get it. So, I don't know. This is probably all TMI, but I mostly just want to let you know that if you're someone who, you know, goes and sees the therapist or takes medication or is having trouble finding the right medication or whatever, you're not alone. It's really not a big deal, and keep doing what you need to do to be happy, because at the end of the day, your happiness should be the most important thing to you and your priorities, because you're not even going to be able to have like a great relationship with anybody else if you're not, you know, happy with yourself. So it's not selfish, and nobody should make you feel that way. So anyways, this whole video was supposed to be about St. Jude. I'm sorry that I went down a rabbit hole. That's very typical me. But getting back to St. Jude, streaming for St. Jude, it's an amazing cause. And if you would like to join the team, you're more than welcome to join the team too. If you're someone who streams, it is Derp Squad. If you go to playlive.stjude.org and you register, when you get to the second page, you'll set up an individual or a supporting campaign. And then from the drop down under team, like support supporting team, you'll choose Derp Squad X PLAYLIVE. Then at the bottom of our PLAYLIVE page, the Derp Squad page, you'll see a Google Drive folder, and there's actually 24 overlays that I made that you can choose from if you'd like to use them on your stream, and I'm really proud of them. I'm really happy that people are using them and like them because I worked really hard on them, and it's been so encouraging. I think we have like 55 people on our team this year. It's so exciting. It seems like it gets bigger and better every year, and I just have no idea how this is happening, but it makes me so happy. So yeah, that's all the things. I'm gonna go, but thank you so much to everybody who has joined the streams and hung out, and thank you to everybody who has donated and just spread the word. Thank you to everybody who's joined the team and streamed, and just thank you to everybody who deserves a thank you. I am gonna go. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I love you all. You're in my hearts. I'll see you soon. Goodbye. 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 Goodbye.